y'all. Let me give y'all a story time on how I found out I was pregnant. Okay, so long story short, I moved out of my mom's house at 20. This was May 1st. I moved out of my mom's house May 1st, 2020. Girl, I just got a taste of freedom. Me and some friends, we went down to Miami. Yeah, we had a time. And so then when I came back, I wanted the time to continue. Long story short, how do I tell this without telling too much? I don't think I want to tell it. So yeah, long story short, girl, when I came back, so I went to Miami, May 9th. And so then we had just moved into a new apartment and everything. So, you know, I felt real grown. I was checking the bag, just got a new place. Like, I feel like a grown ass woman. And so, knocking the boots and 2 months had went by. And so then I'm like, I'm feeling like weird as fuck. The worst morning sickness. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I remember just laying on my bed. Every single time somebody would open the refrigerator, I'm like, I'm finna barf. Like, I'm finna, like, throw up my whole insides. I'm gonna throw up my insides. I can't take it no more. So, like, after a while, I'm like, okay, it went away. It, like, some mornings it would be here, some mornings it wouldn't. And so then I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Like, I had 1 week where it was no sickness. Moved out in May. Did the due. June. And so July is around, and my sister's birthday is July 4th, so we going out for her birthday. It was like a little while after July 4th though, but yeah, so we ended up going down to Atlanta for her birthday trip. And so then I just, like, out of nowhere, morning sickness came back and smacked my ass in the face. And I'm like, one day, like, I just felt so bad. Like, we was going to breakfast one time, and I just, like, I needed to eat something, or I was gonna literally throw up over everybody in that fucking car. It was a Publix, like, near where we was going to breakfast at. And so then me and my sister and her friend, we had went over there, and she had bought me, like, a lot of Lunchables and stuff. I'm like, to be loved. Like, it was so, like, it was so fucking good. Like, I think I ended up eating my sister's stuff. I ate mine. And so yeah, we ended up getting to the restaurant or whatever. Okay, so we ended up coming back home from Atlanta, and I'm like, so the morning sickness is back and it's heavy as fuck. So I'm thinking, like, I never felt like this before. Let me take a test on my own before I booked the doctor's appointment. And so I booked so I took, like, no lie, like 10 tests. Like, I took like fucking 10. I'm like, and it all came back positive. It was like one line was faint and then one line was there. So, like, and I said that for like 10 tests. Let me just get a doctor's appointment because I never experienced this before. Girl, got to the fucking doctor and they used that little ass fucking Dollar Tree test. I'm like, yeah. So she say, like, yeah, you pregnant? I'm like, who pregnant? I'm like, how am I gonna tell my mama and my grandma this? Who gonna tell them? Because I'm not. Days go by. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. And so, mind you, at this time, like, I ended up, like, stop talking to all my friends. So, like, it's just me now. Like, that was kind of why, like, God, he was like, you need to focus on yourself. To all my friends and everything. And so I'm like, I don't got nobody to talk to. So, like, who do I, like, tell this to? And it's like, I didn't want to tell my sister either. Because I'm like, no, I just hate, like, anybody being in my business. So yeah, I texted one girl who I went to school with. She had kids already. So I'm like, I reached out to her. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, like, can you just give me some tips, advice? What should I do? And she was like, you're not having a AB. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have it. I'm gonna just go through with the pregnancy. She started asking me a lot of questions. She asked all the right questions. Like, if it wasn't for her, girl, it's just, like, so nice. Like, we don't talk on a regular, so it was kind of, like, so, like, nice to, like, being able to confide into somebody. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah. So she, like, did you tell your parents? You know, how did the dad feel? I'm like, girl, this is too fucking grown for me. Like, I cannot. And so yeah, so days went by. I'm like, I made up my mind. I'm like, yeah, I am gonna keep it. Okay, so the hard part, that part is out, like, already, it's already confirmed. Like, I'm gonna keep it. And so I'm like, okay, so, like, who finna tackle telling my mama and my grandma? So yeah, one day we had all went out to breakfast. It was my sister, my little brother and me, my mom, and my grandma. And so we all went out. And then we was like downtown somewhere. And my grandma, she had to go somewhere. So I went with her inside the building and they stayed in the car or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is the perfect time. Like, let me see. My grandma gonna set the tone. Like, how's this gonna go? So we stand at the corner of the block waiting for my mom to pull up or whatever. I'm like, Granny, I got something to tell you. She like, what? My grandma is the sweetest person in the world. What's wrong, Kay? I'm like, and like, she just like sounded like she knew already, but she had no clue. Like, it just sounded like she knew. She like, I'm like, girl, tears started running down my face. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like happy. She like, you for real? I'm like, yes. She was like, so what you gonna do? And so I'm like, I don't know. I was like, well, how did the dad feel and all that? And so she was asking the right questions too. I'm just like, women, like, she just made me feel like so good. She didn't make me feel bad about it or nothing. Like, it was, I just did my freaking makeups. Throw it up. Yeah, she was just like, well, you got your own place now and you got a job, so you know you on the right path. Hold on. Yeah, shit done got serious. She done got serious. But so yeah, she was basically like, you on the right path, you know, you doing right, and you know, it's up to you at the end of the day. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, that just validated like how I felt and like confirmed that I should keep it. And yeah, so go to part 2. So we had went to so yeah, we got back to the house and my grandma, she's like, so when you gonna tell your mama? I'm like, can you tell her? She's like, no, you're gonna tell her. I'm like, okay. So we had stopped at Portillo's on the way home. So yeah, so then when I got in the house, and my grandma, she's like, okay, so when you gonna tell your mama? Tell her right now. I'm like, no, don't force me. And so I'm like, okay. So my mom was in the kitchen washing her hands and stuff. And so then I go in there. I'm like, Mom, I got something to tell you. So like, I was trying to like hold back the tears. I'm like, I got something to tell you, because I'm like, I don't know how she gonna react. I'm like, if I didn't go get my helmet. Like, what? She's like, what? You ate my fries? I'm like, no, I'm pregnant. She was like so happy. Like, so happy. She was. So yeah, girl, she was happy or whatever. And it's like, she gave me a hug. And she went up front. So mind you, so my sister, she was staying in the car, and so she had went back up front and she told my grandma, and she was like, yeah, she told me. And so then she was like, how far along are you? Mind y'all, I was 13 fucking weeks. I'm like, bitch, that's 2 months already. I'm 13 weeks and 4 days already. I'm like, God damn, he was cooking. Girl, so then my mom, she called my sister. She like, come in here. We got something to tell you. My sister, she was already having a bad mood. She was in a bad mood, girl. No, she like, no, I am not coming in there. Let's go. I'm ready to go home. And so then my mom, she like, come in here. Mom, she told her, she had said it to her. And we was all sitting there looking at each other like, yeah. She was like, what? She was like, what? I'm like, well, TC, you better be on the way, ho. And so then my mom called my little brother and my older brother. We got them on a group FaceTime. And then they were just like, what? But yeah, and everything else was history after that. So we just started planning. But I came on here to say this because it just made me think about, like, so yesterday I had watched a video of this girl how I went to elementary school with. She had did a prank on her mom and she posted it on YouTube, and her mom had the nastiest reaction to it. So I'm like, imagine it's people that actually have to go through that, like, who parents aren't supportive of them, and like, I'm like, thank God that wasn't my situation. And because the other day I was watching Arnell video that she had posted about like her situation, I'm like, we literally went through that same exact thing that she went through. Like literally she broke it down like to a T. I'm like, girl, we out. Did y'all just fucking hear that? Fucking big back asses upstairs. But like, we're literally all in this together. Like, we're literally all just moms trying to figure it out. So yeah, thank you guys for getting this far in this video, and I shall see you guys in my next video tomorrow. Bye.